You've waited all day, probably all night, all year. There's a lot of things you're going to be very excited to see. I'm very excited to show these things to you. So I would now like to bring to the stage the head of Marvel Studios, the guy who is the dreamweaver of all of it. Please welcome Kevin Feige! For you here.
Hello, Hall H.
Oh my God. Feels like it gets here faster and faster every year. I feel like we were just here last year.
It felt recently.
It was.
But we've had a few movies since, and we had a movie called Doctor Strange come out. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And if you had a chance a couple weeks ago, we had a movie called Spider-Man Homecoming. So as the Ant-Man team, not here, they're in Atlanta, they wanted to put something together for you and announce Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne. She was our dream choice. We were making the first film, and it's crazy that she's in it. There are a few other casting announcements that I want to mention to you in that film.
Okay.
We have a great actress named Hannah John Kamen playing a character called the Ghost. We also have another villain played by an awesome actor, Walt Goggins. Randall Park is playing Agent Jimmy Woo. Agent Woo is tasked with Lawrence Fishburne. It's an amazing cast, and we can't wait to show you more.
How do you keep all of these things in your head all the time? I mean, these are secrets that they would just crack open your skull and find out what all these things are. How do you
gross.
maintain...
This is not the Walking Dead panel.
No.
That would be disgusting.
No, but how do you keep all these things in your head all the time?
It's fun. They've been in my head my whole life, so I may as well,
Now you get to share them out. Last year on stage, we saw Brie Larson announced as Captain Marvel.
Yes. Well, yes. We're really here today to talk about our next two movies. But we thought this would be cool to see. You want to know? Here, I'll tell you something. There have been rumors, and I'll tell you those rumors are true, that Nick Fury, Sam Jackson, is in this movie, and he plays a big part in it. And in this film, Nick Fury has two eyes.
What?
Because this film takes place before the events of Iron Man 1 and is set in the early 1990s. And I'll tell you one other thing, for this crowd, it might be crickets in other places, but I think in this crowd, the villains of this will be the first MCU appearance of the Skrulls. There they are. We have amazing directors, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, working on it hard, and we can't wait to show you more.
There is a nice Santa Clausy thing about you every year, like, I'm gonna give you this if you're good.
My job is so amazing. I get to be in a room and say the word Skrulls.
Yeah.
And get a reaction. I love that. All right.
You guys to make it happen. And also, just before we continue,
yes.
Because we're gonna get into Thor, we're here to talk about Thor Ragnarok, we're here to talk about Black Panther. But, as I said before, you've been such an important part to this community. I mean, I feel like so much is modeled around what you've built at Marvel, and so much of the reason for why all these people are here today are because of things that were in that head of yours that you pulled out and managed to weave together. So I want to bring out Eddie Ibrahim for a second. He has a very special thing that he wants to present to you as being such a pillar of our community. So here's Eddie.
Hello, Mr. Feige. Just wanted to say quickly, in 2008, you brought a concept to the mainstream world of a hero that maybe they didn't know quite as well as this crowd knew, Iron Man. And with that, you introduced the concept of comic books to the mainstream through movies, which has never really been done before. You introduced crossovers. You introduced a world that was united in a contiguity between all of those movies. And for that, you really brought to life the thing that we all love, the comics, and what the comics meant to us, and our imaginations and our inspirations. And you brought that to not only film, but to the rest of the world. And for that, it is my honor to present to you the Inkpot Award from Comic-Con International, as well as the Board of Directors for Film and Television. Thank you so much.
That was not a part of the show. Wow, that's sort of beyond words. Thank you very much. I want to talk about movies. Who wants to talk about movies? We're going to talk about 2 movies today. Our next 2 movies up, the first of which is called Thor Ragnarok.
Should I bring out some people maybe that they would like to see at this point? I'd like to bring out the director of Thor Ragnarok, an amazing genius that I've been fortunate enough to get to know the past few years, Mr. Taika Waititi! Also, a man by the name of Chris Hemsworth! Tom Hiddleston! Mark Ruffalo! Kate Blanchett! A Jeff Goldblum has arrived! And also, Tessa Thompson! Carl Urban! And Rachel House! Excellent. Your Thor Ragnarok cast! Congratulations. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Mr. Hemsworth, so Thor does not have his hammer. He does not have Asgard.
Or his hair.
He doesn't have hair that he normally would have.
No. Getting old. Fell out.
So this looks like a very different Thor tonally and character-wise what Thor's going. What's going on? What's going on with him right now?
Midlife crisis, I think. Well, I've played this character 5 times. This is Marvel's 167th film or something. Look, me personally, I got a bit bored of myself and thought, we've got to try something different. Spoke with Taika, spoke with Kevin, and all of us agreed if we're going to make a third Thor, we have to really push the envelope and experiment and take it to another level. So that was what this film was, you know. Cut his hair, break his hammer, change his clothes, change the world, and I think that's what you're going to see and be excited about, is something incredibly unique and different for not only the Thor world, but the Marvel universe.
And so, because he's so used to being in charge, I mean, like, he's never really seems like he has to break much of a sweat. And in this, but from what we've seen so far.
No, he gets his ass kicked in this film. Mainly by the bloke a couple of seats away from him. They have a good little rumble, yeah.
And Taika, I was so excited when I found out that you were making this movie, because What We Do in the Shadows is one of the great... You and Jermaine together, an incredible combination, and to hear that you were going... What is the transition like from going from a film like What We Do in the Shadows, which is an intimate movie that you worked on for a long time, to this, you know, mega tentpole with a character that everyone already knows?
Yeah, well, better food for a start on set, and you know, just like Chris was bored of what he was up to. I was also bored of what he was up to, and and when he reached out. I just saw a friend in need, and and that's just who I am. That's my nature. If you need help, if you need me to pull you from the dark depths, I'm there for you. And if that means me having to take on a tentpole movie like this, I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. So it was really that. I was just trying to help my mate out. In terms of how different it was moving from a tiny little film to a giant one. I feel like there's a lot more pressure, obviously, but at the end of the day, I keep saying this, whatever's inside that rectangle is all that matters, and there might be 500 more people in the crew, but as long as the actors are learning their lines and saying them convincingly, that's what matters. It doesn't matter what the budget is. And most of these people did not learn their lines.
Okay, it just got very serious for a second here. Let's call people out. Let's make it about Tom Hiddleston, who... a couple years ago, you came out here in full costume. There was a full production. It was one of the most memorable and incredible moments of Comic-Con. And you had fun, right? How could you not have fun with that? Was that...
It was a unique experience, and for which I will be eternally grateful to Hall H.
What has Loki been up to at this point?
Well, it's been 4 years, and if you saw Thor: The Dark World, you will know that at the end of that film, Loki is on the throne of Asgard, pretending to be Odin. So Thor comes home, and things are a little different in Asgard. Loki has directed most of his energies into narcissistic self-glorification. Not so much time on good governance. But Ragnarok is coming, and Loki's allegiances have always been slightly unpredictable, and he's still the god of mischief. And what his part is in all of that, you'll just have to wait and see.
All right. I feel like they will. I feel like they're going to see it. I feel like this crowd is probably going to see this movie. I'm going to take a guess. I feel like they're on board with it. I feel like they're on board with it. Mark.
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. I'll see it.
You're going to see it?
I'm gonna see it.
Can you pick me up? Can you pick me up to see the movie? I want to see the movie. Can we talk about the evolution of the Hulk a little bit?
What is it?
The evolution of the Hulk. The Hulk is a movie that you're a character in the...
Oh. Well, it's a little different Hulk than we've seen. Hulk refuses to turn back into Banner. And he's actually enjoying his time on Sakaar because he is a gladiator champion of the world of Sakaar. Yeah. Which means he kicks a lot of A. Because it says right here, please be aware that many members of your audience may be under the age of 18.
It is very nice of you to honor that. Literally no one else has been honoring that.
He kicks a lot of A.
Nice.
And he's enjoying his life for once, and he'll be damned if he's going to go back to Banner.
Again, with the harsh language. I don't know why you had to take it so filthy there.
Is damn a swear word?
I don't know, probably not. I just think kids, you can't offend them at all anymore because of the internet. It doesn't even matter anymore. Everyone has everything. So is he he is kind of a perma-Hulk at this point?
He's a little perma-Hulked.
Yeah.
And he's starting to be able to, because he's been the Hulk for 2 years now, he has the vocabulary of a 2-year-old. So we have a speaking Hulk. Can I say that?
Well, too late.
Oh, sorry. We may or may not have a speaking Hulk in Thor 3, where everyone may or may not die.
Fair enough. That wraps it up. Kate, how did you come into the Marvel universe? And what was who were you in? I mean, seriously, yes, seriously.
A sort of happy accident. I sort of live in the same continent as Taika, and the flight was cheap, so he came out.
I just saw a friend in need. Someone just reaching out to, just a whisper in the dark, just needing help.
I'm grateful. No, look, it's a universe that I've sort of been happily dragged into because of my kids, and to work with Taika and these guys and gals was pretty exciting.
Pretty amazing. And then Jeff Goldblum, who... If I'm not mistaken, you're the... Yes.
No, you were going to say.
You're the collector's brother, is that not accurate?
I look like what?
It's hard to hear.
Oh, it is hard to hear? You are the collector's brother!
Yes, I'm the collector's brother. Benicio del Toro. We're very old. We were elders. We're elders of the universe. We came about shortly after the Big Bang.
So did the rest of us.
Oh, come on. It's really funny you make that joke, but you say A instead of ass. That's really funny.
No, my character, yeah, we're old. We're the oldest living creatures in the universe. Yeah, oldest living race, they call us in the thing. We were here shortly after the Big Bang. Grand Master and my brother Collector. That's right.
Excellent.
Right. And now I rule. And now I rule on this planet Sakaar and put together games mostly. I love games. and fighting games, and I put together, I don't want to give anything away, but the great match between Hulk and the new Thor. Put that together for your entertainment pleasure.
Can you hear me down there, Tessa? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Thanks very much.
So what can you say about Valkyrie? Is there anything you can say about Valkyrie for people?
You know, I was just another friend in need.
You're welcome.
No, I'm thankful. She is an elite warrior of Asgard who is hanging out on Sakaar for reasons that I can't really elaborate on, and she has a relationship with the Grand Master. It's not romantic. I mean, maybe it used to be. Who knows? He's a friend from work. And she picks up little pieces around town that may be of interest, and one of them happens to be a big godlike thing. Yeah, right? And so she brings him to the Grand Master, and then, you know, it takes us off on our story.
Excellent. Carl Urban, who's a Scourge.
Were you out of your Vulcan mind?
Cross the streams, man. I love it. Cross the streams. When did you guys shoot this movie? Because they said you shaved your head and you already have, like, you were that masculine that your hair immediately just...
Yeah, I was in the same boat with everybody else, actually. I was actually on vacation and I received a call from Taika, who was in Australia, deep behind enemy lines, saying, mate, I need help. And so literally that is why I joined this cast.
So Carl's from New Zealand, like me, and you know, when you're surrounded by so many Australians, it's just the accent. It's just,
it's a little bit
drilled. It's like being drilled in the side of the head all day long. Like, you know, like a glass bottle full of nails, just shaking in your ears.
You know, I almost didn't make it to set, because when I came into Australia, the customs officer asked me if I had a criminal record, and I said, "Oh mate, I didn't know I still needed one to get in." Granddaddy stole an apple, got caught, was sent on a boat, right?
Thank God for that too.
Breaking news! Australia declares war on New Zealand. More at 11.
Yeah, we're just kind of bridging the gap between New Zealand and Australia at the moment. As you can see, we're sitting a lot closer to each other than should be.
Bringing two cultures together, the warring tribes of Australia and New Zealand.
It's all over.
Well, maybe.
Make a baby. Make a baby.
We will.
Make a kiwi.
Kind of movie.
And then Rachel House, who has a history of working with Taika. Just in case people don't know, can you talk about some of your...
Hello.
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 Can you talk about your history a little bit working with Taika?
So I've been in 4 out of 5 of his films that he's made. Yeah. So he just brought me along for the accent and for the ride.
Yeah. Rachel's like my good luck charm. I'll try and put her in everything I do. Because she's...
Awesome.
Yes, he said it. She's awesome. She's awesome.
So Taika, do you have anything that you brought along that you might be able to show people here today, since we talked about it so much? Maybe a visual representation of some of these ideas?
No, I just thought we'd just talk.
All right, great.
No, I'm sick of talking. I think we should see something.
Yeah. special role as well.
Yeah. Kevin just reminded me that I'm in the movie as well. Within this you can see this character called Korg, who is he's an alien made of rocks, and he's a big hulking guy, and he's a big giant rock guy, and he becomes kind of a friend to Thor.
A friend in need.
He helps Thor's in need, and so he helps him out. And the character and the voice, I should end up basing a lot on Polynesian bouncers. Who are giants, but then sometimes in New Zealand growing up there, you used to just trying to get into bars and stuff, and those beautiful, delicate voices. And they kind of just sound like this. Hey, can I see your identification, please, my friend? So that's a little taste of Korg, who's also in this film. What do you think?
You guys want to see anything right now?
Okay, let's show you.
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman! Lupita Nyong'o! Michael B. Jordan! Denai Gudia! Forrest Whitaker! Daniel Kaluuya! Andy Serkis! Winston Duke! And Letitia Wright! Excellent. Welcome, everyone. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in live last night, Andy.
Welcome. It's nice to see you all here. Last year we just got a little bit of a glimpse, and this year you're all here. Stuff's been done. I ran into Chadwick after I think it was Civil War, and I said, "Oh my God, Black Panther is like one of the most amazing things. I really hope there's a Black Panther movie." And you go, "Well, who knows?" And then a week later it was announced. So, what has it been like for you, going into this project and you're being Black Panther?
I'm sorry about that. My bad.
No, you couldn't say anything. You couldn't say anything.
You know what? It's amazing. It's amazing. When we talked about this from the beginning, I couldn't talk about it, and it was a big secret. So it was just good to be able to share bits and pieces with everyone as it goes out, and it's beautiful to see how excited people are about it.
Have you seen the trailer? Did you get a chance to see the trailer to Black Panther?
What are we going to learn about T'Challa and Black Panther and what's going on with Wakanda?
Well, he's returning from the events of Civil War, so he's lost his father. So he's just learning how to deal with becoming a new ruler, and he's still mourning, his father's death. So it's a transition period that gets interrupted very quickly.
Right. And is he kind of struggling to trying to figure out what kind of king he wants to be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You saw the trailer.
Yeah. A few times, maybe several times.
Yeah, man.
What's this been like for you, Ryan? I mean, we were here last year, and it was still very new and very fresh. And I know this comic in particular was really, really close to you and really important. So can you talk a little bit about your history with the comic and how you brought it onto the screen?
Man, first I'd just like to say how great it is to be back here in Hall H amongst every time I come back, it's become more and more special. Man, my first time as I shared with y'all last year, I was all the way in the back, like that far back seat. And being up here now with you guys is insane, man. And this comic book in particular, to be a part of bringing this to life and bringing this to you guys, it means everything to me, man. I grew up as a young black kid in the Bay Area, and I grew up loving comic books, and it didn't matter what color the comic book character was. I would follow X-Men, I followed Spider-Man, you know. But I remember as I got older, you know, I wanted to find a comic book character who looked like I did. And I remember going into the comic book shop and asking if they had any. You know, and the first one that the comic book owner took me over to see was Black Panther. You know, so you know, falling in love with the character back then, and being able to bring it to life with this, you know, with this amazing studio and this amazing filmmaker right here, Kevin Feige, and with these incredible actors, and to be here at Comic-Con to share with you guys is amazing, man.
Was there anything particularly in the comic that you felt was important to bring to the screen? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I thought you know, the best thing about the comic book was that T'Challa was somebody who got his power from the people around him and from his history. You know, and history is something that's incredibly important to me and my family, the people that I grew up with, and I know it's incredibly important to African culture. You know, so that's really the cool thing I'm excited to bring about this.
Excellent. This question is for Letitia, so we just saw a glimpse in the trailer, just a little glimpse. So what can you say about Shuri? Is there anything that you can share with people?
Shuri is T'Challa's younger sister, and she is like the technological whiz of Wakanda. She designs all the new technology. She's a scientist. She was like a dream role to play, you know, inspirational, innovative, just a strong black woman. And smart. And not just a black woman, but a woman, you know, and it was just beautiful to play that. So I'm excited for what you guys gonna see for what, you know, Shuri's gonna bring to Wakanda.
Excellent.
Yeah.
This is for Denai, who I feel like you've had a lot of Okoye, because you had so much weapons training from Walking Dead, but did this feel like an even more intense process, or did you come in feeling like, oh yeah, I know how to do all this already?
No, I did not feel, oh no, whatever that was, I did not feel that. It definitely was a new process, and it was awesome. Like, we would all be in the room together, like, working, all like everybody would be up in there, and we'd be in different corners or together, doing drills, learning new stuff, new lines. I mean, she works with a whole different weapon, and there are some overlaps, but not a lot. Like, it was actually a whole new process, which was awesome, because it was about, what I love about her is that it's all connected to the fact that this woman is driven by a love for her nation and for her people. And the beauty of Wakanda is that it is this place that is the most successful, the most advanced nation on earth, and it's on the continent! Woo! Stop it! Get me excited right now. I just love that about this movie. I love that about the story. And so the fact that she is really protecting that, and that's what drives her weaponry, that's what drives her what she does as a warrior. It's all driven by love of her people and what her forefathers and foremothers put in place.
Excellent. Michael, what can you say about Eric? How does he fit into everything?
Oh, man. First off, you guys are amazing fans. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, it's awesome. I feel like Eric has his own point of view and opinions on Wakanda and how it should be ruled. And
careful now, Kevin.
He tries to, he has his eyes on the throne. He has his eyes on the throne, so I think he's trying to do whatever it takes to kind of, to get into, to Wakanda and make that a reality.
Excellent. And then Forrest Whitaker, it's an honor to have you. Can you talk a little bit about Shuri and then being, I guess, sort of a mentor maybe to T'Challa? Can you talk a little bit about his role?
Yeah. It's great to be here with everybody. I'm so excited. He's been working as a sort of a spiritual leader and he was very close friends with his father, and as a result, has been working with him since he was a little child, since he was young, and trying to give him the advice that would hopefully mold him in some way, I guess, into being king. And following in that lineage of kings and advisors to kings, he has that relationship with T'Challa.
Excellent. Just on a personal note, I want to say to Daniel Kaluuya that I think Get Out was a game-changing film. Did such a brilliant job in redefining the genre and making something original and making something beautiful, and it was an incredible movie, and I want to congratulate you. I'm sure you've been hearing that a lot here, but it was incredible. So, what can you say about Wakabi?
This is so surreal. I can say about Wakabi, I can say is T'Challa's oldest friend. They were like childhood friends, and he's part of the leader of the border tribe, and he's the head of security. So anything that comes in and out, so he sees the side of what's coming into Wakanda, what's trying to come into Wakanda, and he stops it. He's a very hidden figure.
Nice. Was it fun when you're doing this kind of movie? Because you get to do it, and it feels like it's to be in this kind of a film feels so energetic and incredible, but it's an incredible amount of work. I mean, this film feels so physical. Is that part of a challenge? Is that challenging when you're acting around like everything that's so physical?
It is wild, yeah. There was a day. Oh, I can't say that. No, I can't say that. It was, there's stuff happened. Yeah, it was fights. We did loads of stunt training, and everyone had their own different fighting styles, and it was fun. And then there was a drummer that was drumming whilst we was all fighting, and it was like matching our movement. Amazing experience.
And then Lupita, it's also an honor to have you here. Thank you so much. I know it's...
Thank you! Love you back.
What can you say? How's the experience been?
Well, I will say, first of all, thank you so much for the Comic-Con love. I saw someone dressed as Eric Killmonger yesterday, and I was stoked. So thank you, whoever that was, already. They had a mask, they made their own mask, and it was really incredible.
Excellent. So what can you say about Nakia? Is there anything you can share?
Well, I can say that Nakia is a spy, and she goes undercover to the rest of the world and reports back to Wakanda about the goings-on. So Wakanda is this isolated nation, and it keeps to itself, and in order to keep safe, they have to send people like Nakia out there, known as war dogs, to keep Wakanda on top of things, you know. Wakanda needs to know what's going on around the world does not need to know what's going on in Wakanda.
Excellent. Andy Serkis all the way down at the end. He's a bit of a poacher. What is he up to? What is he up to in Fleck?
Well, two things. I get to wear pants in this movie, and secondly, I get an arm back, you know, because I ended up on the last movie losing my arm, so I get my arm back, which is pretty cool. And of course, you know, Ulysses is he's a wheeler dealer. He's a lone wolf, but he can pick up the phone to any government and compromise them, and so he'd fit in pretty well in today's society, really. It was really amazing working on this set, because I think Ryan Coogler is just the most incredible director and human being who has just created this wonderful, beautiful vibe on set where everyone was able to literally operate at their maximum. He's such a liberating director to work with. He allows you to explore and collaborate, and I just had the most brilliant and wonderful time working with all these guys. Amazing.
Excellent. Oh, did he come out to the line? Oh, nice. You know how to do it, Andy Serkis. Winston, is this your first Comic-Con?
Yes, this is definitely my first.
Welcome to Comic-Con.
this is amazing, and I've only seen this online and on TV, and the love and reception is just something that is breathtaking. So thank you.
Excellent. So we see a little glimpse of you in the trailer actually lifting another human being. So what can you tell everyone here about M'Baku? What can you say?
Well, M'Baku is this big, strong, ferocious, majestic, charismatic, beloved leader. Leader of the Jabari tribe, the best tribe in Wakanda.
All right.
Wait. No, this is my time.
Hold on.
So the best tribe in Wakanda. But yeah, so what really drew me and I found really hot about this role was just how human and the depth that was in this character, because he's really loyal to his people and deeply faith-driven and all these wonderful things that made him have a lot of range. So yeah, he's a really cool guy, really cool character.
Excellent. Ryan, I assume you've brought some stuff to show? We didn't have anything to show last year?
Yeah, we felt bad last year coming up here with nothing to show. We hadn't shot anything yet, but we got something special just for you guys. And we know how important it is that you guys taking your time to be in this hall. So we thought it'd be great to share something that's just for y'all that won't go anywhere else. So we really hope you guys like it.
Yeah, so please don't record this and stream it or post it anywhere. This is very special just for you. So let's roll the footage. Take a look.